welcome you all to this session. So in the previous session we had discussed about ecological succession under chapter called as ecosystems under the unit or subject you can say environmental studies. As you all know the meaning of ecosystem, different types of ecosystem, aquatic, terrestrial. In terrestrial again we are studying about desert, grassland, etc. And yesterday we discussed about different types of ecological succession like primary succession, secondary succession with examples, what are the conditions happening there, and we also saw some aquatic ecosystem. In under aquatic we had seen freshwater and marine water ecosystems and what are the conditions there, what is the net primary productivity, what kind of organisms are growing in aquatic as well as that is in freshwater and marine water, and we have seen a case study of pond ecosystem by hydrilla treatment. So today we are going to start with desert ecosystem. Desert, as we have seen, aquatic ecosystem. Aquatic means the organisms living in water are called aquatic ecosystem. We have seen forest ecosystem where forests are the huge ecosystem, huge biomes occupying large number of trees, plants, animals like plants like herbs, shrubs, trees, long trees you can say, bushy trees forming canopies, all have seen. Next going to desert ecosystem. What are deserts? Deserts are arid regions. Deserts are arid regions, and these regions have very high temperature, generally associated with warm temperature. What type of temperature? They are generally associated with warm temperature. Means the temperature in deserts will be usually high. Arid, completely dry, then there is more scarcity of water. So once again, deserts are arid regions. Arid means very dry regions and where temperature is very high or warm temperature you can say, that is the deserts. But there are some exceptions, there are some cold deserts also. Cold deserts also. But here in this chapter we are going to mainly discuss about the high temperature, that is the desert ecosystem, not about the cold deserts. We are going to see the deserts which are generally arid in condition and having high temperatures. Okay. So the cold deserts also exist. Where they are found? Deserts are found almost in all continents. Almost found in all continents. Continents like Antarctica. Antarctica, the most common you have seen Thar desert, you have heard about in Rajasthan, like Antarctica, the Arctic and North Africa. Arctic, North Africa. Yes, continents like Antarctica, Arctic, North Africa and Middle East are the regions where you find deserts and Middle East. These are the places or for the world can say deserts are found. So almost they are found in all continents. You know there are 7 continents in the world. So Antarctica, Arctic regions, North Africa and Middle East. Now if you see the studying the Thar desert case study, in your syllabus you are going to study about case study. Taking a particular example, we are taking example of Thar desert case study. Thar desert case study. Thar desert case study. Okay. So once again we will know the meaning of desert. Deserts are arid regions. Arid means very dry conditions associated with warm temperature. There are some cold deserts also existing. Almost where deserts are found in continents like Antarctica, Arctic, North Africa, Middle East, etc. Now we are going to study the case study of Thar desert. Where Thar desert is located? It is located in Rajasthan, northwest of India. Located in Rajasthan, that is towards northwest of India. Which region? Northeast of India and stretching towards Pakistan. If you go to the borders, stretching towards Pakistan. Okay, so deserts usually, if we go to the district like Kutch in the state of Gujarat and Rajasthan, they are nearby in the border areas. It is extending from northwest of India and stretching towards the Pakistan. So these are the area where there are deserts. So best example is Thar Desert. Thar Desert is located in Rajasthan in northwest of India towards stretching towards Pakistan. How much area it is covering? It is covering about 200,000 of kilometers. See how much area it's covering? 200,000 kilometers it is covering, and tropical dense few species are there. Tropical dense few species are growing in this regions. As you know, the number of desert species are very, very less if you compare other ecosystems like aquatic, grasslands. There are more number of organisms or animals growing and plants growing. But about desert conditions, if you take, the number of species are very, very less. Okay. Few species. Very hot and dry summer. See students, this is a very hot and you get here dry summer. Completely dry, especially in summer season, it is very, very dry and very hot. Temperature above 40 degrees Celsius. With grasslands, sand dunes, etc. With grasslands and sand dunes. See, you may be visited many deserts. You have visited desert and marubhumi anta karitivi. Alli temperature tumba high agirutte, very, very high, very dry conditions. There is scarcity of water. Alli neeru sigo tumba kashta irutte. But allu kuda ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಮರಗಳು ಬೆಳೀತವೆ. They are called as desert animals and plants like cactus, opuntia. Yes, squirrel, rats are growing in desert conditions because those animals and plants do not require water, so they are growing in arid and dry conditions. Okay, and if you have seen, if you move in that sand like camels, or animals like camels are also found here. Camels are usually found in these regions. The desert, onti, alli tumba sigutte nimage nodakke. Camels are found, and if you walk on that sand on the desert, it's very, very hot. You cannot walk on that sand, so it's too hot. Okay, next, low rainfall with high evaporation. What is the condition of desert? Low rainfall with high evaporation. High evaporation. ಮಳೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. As we had seen yesterday in other ecosystems like grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, evergreen forest, there ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಮಳೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Continuously there is rainfall throughout the year and they get more number of trees, plants, etc. But here in desert conditions, the rainfall they receive is very, very less rainfall, low rainfall, but the rate of evaporation is very, very high. In spite of less rainfall is less, but the rate of evaporation is very, very high. So ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೂಡ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಆವೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So what happens, very less rainfall, very large small amount of water is there, but the rate of evaporation is very, very high. Then how will the water be present there? Because temperature is very, very high, water gets evaporated faster, so that area becomes completely arid and dry. Okay, next coming to desert animals respectively, like insects, reptiles are very common. Desert animals, as I told, like camels, insects, reptiles are common. There are some animals which can survive in desert conditions also. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. There are some plants which are growing in desert. ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ plants ಇರುತ್ತೆ, animals ಇರುತ್ತೆ which are adapted to that type of environment. Not all are found in evergreen forest or Amazon forest only. So many animals or plants are found in desert also. Okay. One example we'll take, the great Indian bustard and wild ass. The great Indian bustard and wild ass are the examples of animals found there, are found in this desert region, the desert ecosystem. What kind of animals are found? Animals like the great Indian bustard and wild ass. There are so many animals like camels, rat, squirrel rat, which require very less amount of water, or they do not require water at all. They are also present there. But the most common example or most famous I have taken as a case study here is the great Indian bustard, GIB, we call it in short as GIB, great Indian bustard and wild ass are found here. Soil is rich. See, if it is the soil condition of desert, it is very rich. Soil is rich, but there is deficiency of water. Most important thing, you know, water is called as the liquid of life. All organisms require water to perform their functions like metabolic activities in their body, whether a plant or animal. In spite of the soil is rich, soil is very rich in nutrient, but there is deficiency of water, so the number of plants growing there are very less. Hence the less plants can grow. Hence less plants grow in desert conditions compared to other ecosystems. So understanding, see children, very important. Desert, the meaning of desert, where deserts are found. Most common example I have taken is of Thar desert. It's very important. Thar desert case study you are studying. Where it is present, where it is located? In Rajasthan, northwest of India, stretching towards Pakistan. Covering about 200,000 kilometers, and they are found only few species. Okay. Next, what about the climatic conditions here? It is very hot, dry summer, grasslands and sand dunes. Sand dunes means the sand also, if you touch that sand, it is too hot. Okay. Animals are found. Low rainfall. This condition is very essential to mention these terms here. Low rainfall. Desert, as you know, marubhumi andre alli male tumba kadime irutte, but evaporation rate is very high. Desert animals like insects, some reptiles are common. The most common example is studying in this syllabus, your chapter, is the great Indian bustard and wild ass. Okay. Another important point about deserts is soil is rich. You can see soil is very rich with nutrients and fertility, etc. But there is deficiency of water. In desert conditions, as rainfall is very less, there is no water, scarcity of water, or you can say deficiency of water. But hence, the less plants can grow in these conditions. Okay. Now, Indian government launched some programs like drought-prone programs. Drought under Baragala. Okay. So, the government of India has launched certain programs for the development of these drought conditions, how to cope up with these situations. Okay, there are some programs conducted by government of India about the government of India had started or launched certain programs regarding the drought conditions. Drought prone area program. Drought prone area program. Drought ಅಂದರೆ ಬರಗಾಲ. Desert means already it is very less rainfall it is receiving, number of plants are very less, and especially during summer conditions. Summer ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ಕಾಲ. ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ಕಾಲ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀರಿನ ಅಭಾವ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. But what about desert conditions? Already they are not having any water. Again in summer season completely they become drought. Completely dry arid conditions are there. Drought ಅಂದರೆ ಬರಗಾಲ. Drought prone area program India has launched, and integrated watershed management. Integrated watershed management programs. Means what are the developmental conditions? How can we improve the scarcity of water or the conditions the people are facing in these areas or in these regions? So to look after all these things, Government of India has started programs like drought prone area. Prone means the suffering from drought, and integrated watershed management. How we can bring or store water or supply water to these arid and dry conditions like deserts. This was launched in the year 1970. In 1970, these programs were conducted by Government of India for desert ecosystem. So, Government of India has passed the drought prone area programs and integrated watershed management in the year 1970. Okay. Now we are going to discuss some of the mineral extraction in Thar desert. See, now you already know the meaning of desert, right? What kind of climate it is having, what kind of weather it's there, and what kind of animals and plants are living in that area or desert, you can say. But it's just very amazing that there are some of the mineral extraction you can find in the Thar desert. So mineral extraction in Thar desert. What kind of minerals you find in the Thar desert? First one, limestone to produce cement. Limestone, CaCO3. Why limestone is used? To produce cement. So to produce cement, or for the manufacture of cement, we require a chemical or the elements or the minerals called as limestone. Number 2, marbles for construction. The meaning of marbles, which are used in flooring, etc. Marbles for construction. Marbles for construction. Marbles, they are found in the Thar desert or in the desert area, you can say. Phosphorite for fertilizers and chemicals. Phosphorite. For chemical fertilizers. Fertilizers are used for plants to get rid of insects and pests. Okay. Feldspar, that is one more mineral used in ceramics. Feldspar, it is used in ceramics. Feldspar is one of the mineral which is used to make some glass articles or decorative purposes. Feldspar, that is used in ceramics. Then coming to gypsum, used in plaster and cement. Gypsum used in plaster and in manufacture of cement. Gypsum, you will be studying in chemistry, you may be knowing while discussing about the manufacture, extraction of this limestone and gypsum that is used in making cement. So these are the minerals extraction in Thar desert. What are the minerals produced here? Present here: limestone, marble, phosphorite, feldspar, gypsum and plaster, which are used in various purposes we have seen. Next we will go for energy in the Thar desert. Next one. Energy in Thar desert. What is energy? You know about energy? That is renewable and non-renewable resources are exploited in Thar desert. That is renewable and non-renewable energy is exploited in Thar desert. Renewable means what? Means once which is used, again we can reuse it. Non-renewable means it cannot again be reused or re-exploited. Renewable like solar and wind energy. Solar and wind energy you find in the Thar desert. Solar means mainly from the sun. You know, at the high temperature you get more amount of solar energy used for various purposes. Wind energy. See, in spite of high temperature, in deserts you have lot of wind. Lot of wind will be there, sand dunes will be there, and those sand will be blowing to different regions. So they have high intensity of wind is very very high, and solar energy also is very very high. So these are renewable resources or energy in the Thar desert. Now we see farming in Thar desert. Farming. So in spite of such dry arid conditions, there are some farming. People do some farming also in that conditions. Farming in Thar desert. Farming means growing some plants like vegetables, fruits are growing. Before that, in energy in Thar desert, at Jaisalmer, 75 wind turbines are generating at Jaisalmer. I will write here, at Jaisalmer, 75. See how many? 75 wind turbines are working. Wind turbines are working, which are producing or generating 60 megawatt of electricity. Megawatt of electricity. Wind turbines you have seen here also nearby. You can see if you visit regions like Malsamudra and all, here nearby you are seeing those fans. I can see here. So you visit this area or the place, you can see here nearby wind turbines. They are, means how they are moving, because they are moving naturally by the wind. If there is a lot of wind, then those turbines move. Likewise, 75 turbines are being located in Jaisalmer and they are producing 60 megawatt of electricity. So this is about energy. Next, coming to farming, we are discussing. Farmers produce enough food for them to eat, for their family. Farmers produce enough food for themselves as well as their family, to feed their families. Fruits, vegetables are growing. Indira Gandhi Canal has enabled the irrigation system. Indira Gandhi Canal system, see. Indira Gandhi Canal system. Indira Gandhi Canal system has established lot of irrigation facility for those people to grow food. Of irrigation of 3,500 km square. Irrigation of 3,500 km square. Irrigation Niravari. So this system was developed by Indira Gandhi Canal system, and irrigation of 3,500 km square. Production of wheat, cotton and maize. Production of wheat, cotton and maize. So by developing such programs or some systems like Indira Gandhi Canal system, so desert conditions also are getting lot of water. Irrigation Niravari, allu kuda neeru niyojane tayarisidare about 3,500 km square. So a lot of water is being supplied through this canal system to grow wheat, cotton, maize, and farmers are depending on their agriculture and they are mainly running their families. As you know, India is mainly agricultural based country. Right, most of our people are depending on agriculture for their livelihood. As you can see, nowadays agriculture is a major issue because farmers are not getting right amount of good quality of seeds. They are not getting proper money, enough money for growing of the different crops and plants. So this canal system has helped a lot to the people who are living in desert conditions to grow crop like wheat, cotton, maize due to the irrigation system of this Indira Gandhi Canal system. Okay. Now if you come to tourism. So you have seen the weather conditions of desert. what it can grow there, what kind of animals are found, what kind of plants are growing. Yes. Then we have seen some mineral extraction, isn't it? Mineral extraction, energy in Thar Desert, farming in Thar Desert. Now, what about tourism? Is tourism related to the desert? Yes. If you visit deserts, they are very, very beautiful. They are very attracting tourists. Many people come from different places to visit deserts. Especially if you go to Kutch district of Gujarat, Run of Kutch, ಅಲ್ಲಿ there they are celebrating an utsav called Kutch Utsav, Run Utsav ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. There is white desert, completely white desert you can see, very, very beautiful. People are staying there for some days and enjoying that festival, like a festival they are celebrating there. So it is called as Ran Utsav ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಕಚ್ಚಲ್ಲಿ. If you go in the Gujarat, there is time during Sankranti you can say, there a lot of people are gathering to coming there to visit that run. In the desert, Kutchali ಬರುತ್ತೆ in desert in a district called Gujarat, a state of Gujarat. So tourism, there are some camel shows, people perform puppet shows, so many things are there. People are visiting deserts also to see. Camel treks are there, camel treks, trekking, camel treks, and it is extending till Pakistan. So people from Pakistan also, nearby border places also, people come to visit these deserts. So tourism also, there is a lot of income for the tourist people also, from the people who are coming to visit this. So as a part of tourism also, desert plays a very important role, not only vegetation or just for animals, plants, or for mineral extraction, or you can say the energy canal system, irrigation canal system, but as a part of tourism also, deserts are very, very important. So they are very, very beautiful. Lot of animals are there, camels are there especially, because we are not living in the desert. That conditions are different. Here the climatic condition is different. But if you visit, and you remember students, at night time deserts become completely cool. They are very, very cool. Especially if you go in winter season, they are very, very cold also. But in summer they are a little bit, temperature is high. So in tourism also, camel trekking is there, which is extending up to till Pakistan, and people come from different parts of the country to visit those things. Okay. So this is all about desert ecosystem. So in desert ecosystem we studied a lot of things. Now we will go to grassland ecosystem. Next we will discuss about the grassland ecosystem. Till now we have discussed about the desert. What were the conditions? Marabhumi ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತನ. We have discussed till about desert ecosystem. ಮರುಭೂಮಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ವಾ? I told you about some points about desert ecosystem, marabhumi. Now we are going to discuss about grassland ecosystem. This is the areas where the vegetation is dominated by grasses. This is the area. It is an area dominated by grasses. ಹುಲ್ ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ grassland ಅಂದರೆ. Dominate ಅಂದರೆ rich in. So as you have seen, desert there is less rainfall and number of plants, animals are very, very less, or few. But in come to grassland ecosystem, the area is mainly dominated or rich in grasses and herbaceous plants, herbivorous animals can say, and herbaceous plants. Lot of green plants, small herbs are found in grassland ecosystems. They are also called as transitional landscape. What they are also called as? Also called as transitional landscape. Grassland ecosystems are also called as transitional landscape. Means there are some slopey areas are there, small grasses are growing here and there. It covers about 10% of Earth's surface. See, grassland ecosystem covering how much? 10% of Earth's surface. 10% of Earth's surface is covered by which ecosystem? Grassland ecosystem. Okay. Rainfall. See, as we have seen in desert, the arid conditions or dry conditions, the temperature is very, very high, less rainfall, high evaporation, you know that. But here rainfall is 15 to 75 centimeter every year. Rainfall 15 to 75 centimeters per year annually. It's also not that much, but compared to desert conditions, a bit okay, you can say 15 to 75 centimeters per year or every year. In India, where do you find in India the grassland, savanna, steppes, Himalayas? You find large number of trees, herbs. Yes, in India, Himalayas, you find so many different species of plants, trees in the Himalayan regions. Okay. Now, what is the economic importance of grassland ecosystem? If we come to the economic importance. Economic importance of grassland ecosystem. What do we get from grasslands? We get food for domestic animals, as maintain the crop of many domesticated animals. It is the crop of many domesticated animals. Domestic animals ge food idu. Yes, like domestic animals like cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, pigs, etc. Cow, buffalo, pig, goat, sheep, etc. It is the crop of many domesticated animals and of the economic importance. Then there is mixture of grasses, clothes, mixture of grass, cloves. How many spices are growing here like cloves? Then coming to leguminous species, leguminous plants or leguminous species are growing here. Clove and the lavanga. Leguminous plants are the ones which are covered in a covering called as legumes. Pea plant you can see, vatani anta karitare. Pea plants you can find there. Leguminous plants, so many species are growing. Dicot plants are growing, herbs are growing, dicots. And so many herbs are also growing. Dicot having two cot, ದ್ವಿದಳ ಧಾನ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ದ್ವಿದಳ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು, dicots, herbs, etc. So these are all plants growing in grassland ecosystem. So grassland ecosystem mainly they are areas, they are mainly dominated by grasses, okay, and herbaceous plants. They are also called as transitional landscape. How much area it is covering? 10% of Earth's surface. Rainfall is 15 to 75 centimeter per year. And in Himalayas, you find large number of grassland ecosystems. There are different ecosystems like grassland ecosystems like savanna, steppes, tropical evergreen forest, rainforest, etc. What is the economic importance of grassland ecosystem? Grassland ecosystems are mainly useful for growing large number of herbaceous plants useful for domestic animals like cow, buffalo, pigs, goat, sheep, etc. And a mixture of these grasses are also useful for growing different types of leguminous plants. Okay, so these are all you are going to study in your environmental science topics. Okay, so case study, why they have given case study means by taking an example of a particular area or a desert you can say, or a grassland you can say, particular example, then you have to study that area in detail. Now we have seen deserts. In Thar desert, what taking a Thar desert because it is a huge desert. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬೆಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಮಳೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಥರ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ತಾಪಮಾನ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ecosystems. As you have seen, excuse me, aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic you have seen terrestrial, fresh water and marine water, etc. Isn't it? Andre particular example if you take, then you study that in detail. Case studies you are studying in your syllabus. So you have seen a case study of pond ecosystem in hydrilla plants. Here is studied a case study about the desert ecosystem. So what all we have discussed in this chapter? About the meaning of ecosystem, types of ecosystem, structure and function of ecosystem, components of ecosystem like biotic and abiotic components, then structurally producers, consumers, decomposers, primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, food chain, how they are interconnected to form a food chain, and types of food chain, grazing food chain, parasitic food chain and detritus food chain. Then those interconnecting food chains in turn form food web. Web means in a wide area where many food chains are connected. And every organism on this earth is very, very essential. If any of the one trophic level is damaged, then it affects the entire or all the organisms. Then we have studied different types of ecosystems like forest ecosystem, desert ecosystem, grassland ecosystem and pond ecosystem, and about ecological succession. So here completes the chapter called as ecosystems. So in next session we start the chapter called as natural resources. Thank you.